Today, I want to talk about something personal, about discoveries that completely changed how I see the war in Ukraine. I'm a professional writer. Even though I've lived in California for more than 20 years, I used to write in Russian and publish my books in Russia. 17 of them came out, more if you count translations. I also founded the largest online writing school in the Russian speaking world. Over 50,000 students watched my lectures and read my articles. But when Russia invaded Ukraine, I sent an anti war letter to all my subscribers. That one email ended my career in Russia overnight. Many of my followers were professionals in the publishing industry. None of them could afford to risk their jobs or reputations by working with someone as unreliable as me. I don't blame them. Everyone has families to protect. But I had no choice. I had to speak up, to say that not all Russians are like Putin and his circle. After that, I stopped writing completely. I didn't have the strength, and I didn't understand why write at all. The country I was born in, the readers I wrote for, had gone mad. All I could hear were voices cheering for war, and that was unbearable. Only now, almost 4 years after the invasion, have I found the strength to start writing again. My new novel will be about the war in Ukraine. Marika, a vice president of a large company in Moscow, hides a terrible secret. Her daughter, Alisa, dropped out of Harvard Medical School to go to Ukraine and help the wounded. Marika's company is tied to the state. If the FSB finds out, she'll lose everything, including the financial security of her elderly parents who depend entirely on her. Then one day, Alisa disappears. She stops answering messages. The only person who can help Marika find her daughter is an American engineer named Leo, a man she once loved in her youth. He's now in Kiev, helping Ukrainians build drones. Marika reaches out and asks him to find Alisa. I'm not making this up. I take dozens of interviews with people drawn into this war. A Moscow banker, a Ukrainian doctor, an Indian soldier who volunteered to fight for Russia, a school principal from Kharkov who drives cars across the border to make ends meet. I speak with people who help bypass sanctions and with those who understand drones better than most engineers. What they tell me is blows my mind. And I'll be sharing short videos here with the discoveries that keep changing how I see everything. For a long time, I tried to protect my sanity by turning everything I knew about the war into abstraction. I listened to analysts, professors, experts. Everything was correct, logical, factual, but I had no image before my eyes. I was looking the other way. Out of pure self preservation, I had cancer, triggered by the stress that came with the start of the war. My brain replaced reality with something it could handle. I imagined the war in images of World War II, the films, the newsreels I'd seen as a child, because that was long ago. Safe, not mine. But when I began watching YouTubers broadcasting from Kiev, I was shaken. It was not about the past. It was about us, the living, our modern cities, glass towers, Hondas, Mercedeses, street cafes under bright orange umbrellas. That's when it hit me. Many people refuse to look at this war because it's happening to people just like them. It's easy to watch wars that happen somewhere else, to other people, people who look different, live differently, people you can safely believe you'll never become. Even among those who support the war, everything is abstract. They imagine World War II heroes and villains, but cheer for the opposite side. That's why they feel no horror, no empathy. They can picture a Ukrainian nurse named Nadia sitting on the cold floor of a half-ruined hospital, too exhausted to stand. How can you scream Nazis or fascists when you see her? Nadia's native language is Russian. At home, she has a terrified cat that hides under the bathtub. There's sometimes running water, sometimes not, sometimes light, sometimes darkness. And her phone keeps buzzing. Launch detected, heading toward Tsirkuni. Turn back toward Zhuki village. Shahed over the bridge. I subscribe to those Telegram channels. I see what they see. Whole cities living with death circling above them. Every day, it will take someone. Who? You? Your loved ones. Tomorrow, you might go to work, to an office, a store, a salon, or tomorrow you might be holding what's left of your own arm. And under those horrifying updates, there are likes, thousands of them. The supporters of the invasion watch and cheer. But that's not the whole story. The same thing happens on the Russian side in Telegram channels tracking strikes on Belgorod and other border regions. Enemies in this war can literally see into each other's windows. Neither side has any pity left, only exhaustion. And the thirst for revenge. That exhaustion, I can't take it anymore. I have no strength left. It's the one thing I hear in almost every conversation now. And then comes my personal fear. If they are all too tired, will Putin win? I'm not going to pick up a rifle myself. I'm just cheering for good to defeat evil. We all expect someone else to do the fighting, not us, because deep down, we don't want to hold that bandaged stump in our arms. I don't dare judge the fatigue, but it still terrifies me that evil might prove to the world that it can get away with it. I can't speak for all Russians. I can only speak for myself. I know how to tell stories that warm the heart and make history understandable. If you want to see what I mean, look at my novels, the Russian Treasure series on Amazon. That's my craft, my duty. So I'll keep writing and I'll keep talking because I'm a Russian author, because I can't stay silent, and because someone has to bear witness. The story is still unfolding on the page and in real life. If you'd like to follow its path and know when the novel comes out, click the link in the description and join my newsletter.